day. Quick shout out. Good morning, Roach. Good morning, Double R. Good morning, Giles. Good morning, Tommy. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Trin. Good morning, Kevin. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what we're getting into so far. We could see that overnight inventory. So the settle was down here, 40.9375. So overnight inventory is pretty much net long, right? Maybe 90.10 is what my estimation was. So we will look to see if there is a correction of this overnight inventory. Right as of now, with about 12 minutes left until the market opens, we're looking at opening up in balance, right, and in value also. So we're going to be looking at most likely a choppy market. I don't really think there's going to be an opportunity for a quick trade like we had yesterday. Early on, we are going to have to wait a little bit and let these levels establish and kind of carve out what the market wants to do today. We will be looking to see, or I'll be looking to see really if that market can get back above that 41.28, 41.30 level, fill in some volume where we had a bit of weakness yesterday. I do think a little bit of the downside yesterday was caused by the Fed speakers, where they were really just kind of, in lack of another word, hawkish, right? They were kind of just saying like, hey, you guys are getting ahead of yourselves and you need to be careful because Powell tried to pump the market up, but we don't necessarily agree, and there might be some more downside, so you guys just need to prepare for that. um you know Regardless of if if they know what they're doing or if they're right. One of them even said that they wanted interest, or they wanted the rate hike up to 3%, so which is a pretty decent size increase, but we'll kind of see they they're really up to. um so really, if you're looking at this, just, and from my perspective, I'm just really just looking at this balance here. um Basically, we're looking to see if we can get up here. If we can't, there'd be a nice fade opportunity from down here. There's a nice buying opportunity if we don't break down without momentum. So the first thing that we'll look for, first thing, or the next best trade, as we'll call it, that I'll be looking for. Pop, good morning. How the hell are you? Is we'll look for a correction of overnight inventory. We have yesterday's open kind of sitting right on the point of control, that 4103, right? 4103 all the way down really to 4095, I think, is an area where we should find some buyers. It looked like an area that buyers stepped up yesterday, an other time frame buyer, as Jim Dalton calls it, or a big money buyer, as I call it, to hold the market up. So that's kind of what I'll be looking for. And now that I'm looking at the drawing, it looks a little inappropriate. Let's try again. So we'll look to see if it comes down to here and look to see if it trades back up. And the target on that trade will be this 41.28 to 41.30 level, where I think, we've gotten a little bit of resistance and a little bit of weakness from these buyers, unwilling to step up and initiate new longs at these high prices. We do have that services PMI today. Where's my calendar? What do we have? Is it today's manufacturing PMIs? What do we got here? 10 o'clock. It's ISM non-manufacturing PMI. There it is. We have ISM non-manufacturing PMIs 30 minutes after the market opens. That could be a big driver, and I'm kind of gonna be waiting to be patient until that comes out and see if we get any established levels, or see if we get any support or continuation. I'm pretty unbiased. As we get into balance, I tend to lose my bias, right? It had a nice upside bias for the past couple weeks, really. And I think I kind of always have a little bit of upside bias in my psychology, and I understand that. But when we start to get into a balance zone, you really have to remain unbiased, because it becomes very dangerous, right? If you're short, and if you have a short bias and we come up above balance and some volume comes in, it could start to blind you. You could be stuck short, and this thing could just short cover all the way up. And then the same thing on the downside, if you're long bias and this thing comes in with some volume, could really come down and go against you, and you just kind of keep buying the dip there. So we've got to remain unbiased and while we're up inside this balance zone. When we take a peek at the daily chart here, where's the ES at? So when we take a peek at the daily chart here, we can see a little bit easier of kind of where we're at. We're just climbing up above that 100-day SMA. I know I just added the 100-day SMA, but I just wanted to see in between these two. This is the 50 down here and the 200. I was just trying to give myself a little median level, just there right in the middle. We do have this previous balance zone, and then also I'm looking at this area here as an equilibrium. This 40, let's say the high of here is like 41.57 to down to here like 41.35 as an equilibrium to the upside. So it's kind of acting as resistance until we get above that. So really, we'd like to see that volume come in above that 41.50 to really put some pressure and push to the high of this 3-month high, right? If we flip over to the monthly, also make sure I'm not losing time. Oh, we got to be quick here. When we look at the monthly, these last 2 months really have just been balancing, and so overlapping balance. We have kind of this low of balance previous here. The low of this previous month here was at 41.52. So that's really where I'd like to see us establish above that 41.50 level and start to break into some of these upper levels and really get a cessation of one-time framing. I know we broke the previous month's high here by a couple of ticks, but you've got 41.47 quarter at this one, and then 41.4375 on a monthly scale. To me, that's just not enough to give us any more upside. And so I'm almost kind of expecting, if we don't get a reaction soon from these buyers, that there's possibility to come back down. And it does, to me, the first target probably be this 40.50 level. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me get Revly going and we'll get this show on the road. All right, let's get it. We are ready. We're motivated. We've got about 4 minutes left until the market opens. Let's see what we can get here. Remember, the first things that I'll be looking for is a correction of this overnight inventory. Look for the market to stabilize around this 4103 to 4195 level, right? We'll use that prior day low as a target, and then we will target that prior POC, which is putting us right about 4130, right? If we do not get support down there and we come back down here, we'll look to see that overnight volume point of control get held, and then we'll look to test that T2 low, which is down there at 40.81, and that's the low of balance. Any volume below that could bring us down to this prior point of control right there at that 72. Okay, but remember, if we don't get volume down in this area, there could be an opportunity to just extend balance. Buyers will be looking to hold this zone here. Oops. We'll be looking to hold this zone and try to buy it up. So that's going to be something that we'll definitely have to watch out for as we get ready for this open. Let's take a quick peek around the block here at some of our equities. We've got oil's up barely, just sitting at 94. Nasdaq's up 0.6. The Russell's actually leading the pack, up 0.75, and the Dow's up 0.5. Apple's had a pretty big tail here, but has since kind of bounced back. AMD got hammered in earnings yesterday, but is not doing too bad. Amazon, kind of the same idea, breaking out to the upside though. Google's looking actually kind of strong, so that's good news for the market. Meta looks strong in the pre-market and has since kind of pulled back. Microsoft is just looking pretty strong, trying to get it above its previous day's high. Let's even go ahead and give us an alert there. Netflix gapping up from its close yesterday, so a Peter gap. Tesla still looking strong. I actually held some puts yesterday on Tesla on accident because I was on the phone with my dad and forgot to close them before the close. So I'm gonna start the day with a like a $400 loss probably, unless the market starts to sell off here pretty quick. The VIX is down at 23, so still coming down a little bit during this pre-market or during the Globex session, not below its previous day's low. So we'll add an alert to see if the volatility starts to get shallow up there. All right, got 1 minute. Take a deep breath, do what you got to do, get ready to win. If we don't get a correction of overnight inventory right away, then you want to go with the market, and that, in this case, it would be to the upside. So let's say if we come down maybe to half back and then find some buyers, don't try to fight the upside just because we didn't come back to the overnight point of control. There's the open. A little bit of volume coming in. Apple's coming down and bouncing off of its open. You can see the breadth is pretty strong here today. 4-1 on the upside. There it goes. So not really a huge correction there. Back above the open. Breadth is cooling a little bit, but the breadth is pretty strong here, up 295. You can see it's really heavily, kind of weighted on our information technology sector, as that seems to be the leader today. And consumer discretionary is doing pretty well. The sellers trying to sell this 17 quarter here. Buyers liquidate below the open again. Just let it cool itself off here, right? Let's Jason, good morning. LFG. A little bit of buying coming in down here around the 13. See that weak spot on the profile, 16 quarter just above the open. So these sellers trying to offer this 1450 to hold it below the open. See if they can hold. Remember, we opened up inside value, and typically that means that we're going to get a nice choppy range. A little bit leaning to the upside here because of the breadth. Apple's came down to its open and bounced there pretty well. Getting some volume holding in up here at the top. See sellers trying to sell this 17 quarter, but buyers look to be stepping up so far. But overall, it's kind of weak, to be honest. Back and forth, fairly weak. Sellers get caught a little bit here. Weak spot on the profiles is 25 or 20 quarter, 2025. Bot got into a put for the day. Counts are 2486. Remember, we do have some mechanical references here from the previous day, right? This K is a mechanical reference, so it's looking to repair that now. And then we have this H reference as a mechanical reference. And then even this G high is a fairly weak high, honestly, because it's just, kind of right inside with that. So I look at it as weak. Microsoft just took out that high level that we marked. Just got the alert. Back down to the weekly VWAP, which is right here at this 4116 or 4115.75, right here at the open. That's how you can tell the market is just so balanced here. So we came right back down to the open, found some buyers. Sponsored buying again off the open. Took that off the open, quick scalp. Nice, nice. I've only taken one trade. It was 15. I got filled 15 and 16. Big offer showing up here on the 20. Looks like it just got filled. Nope, no, it didn't. It moved. Looks like it's trying to hold. It did just get filled right there. Let's see. Watch the 20. 20 level could be a big level today. A lot of volume coming in right there. If we continue to build this volume here above this level, we'll look to test that value area high. That'll be that 24. And then really, I'd like to see us get above this 28.30 level to give some filling in of yesterday's profile, right? If we look at yesterday's profile, it's really kind of weak structure up here. We had that POC up here at this same level. And that's kind of where I'd like to target first to see if there's going to be a reaction from a seller up at that level. If not, I think that I think that there's probably decent opportunity that we try to get up here and test some of these upper levels. I think a lot of the downside yesterday was more caused by Fed speakers than anything else, to be honest. Still going, looking for the 28. 28.30 level is the target here. Weak spot on the profile is this 25 quarter. Bid steps up at the 26. Let's see if they hold. If not, they'll probably retrace back down. Doesn't look like they... Oh, yeah, there's a big offer up here. Offers are trying to get heavy at the 26. Sellers are stuck on the 24.50 there. They got a little bit too aggressive. We're pretty much safe to keep riding this thing up for now. Well, especially if they stay above this 24.5. Look for some short covering. There we go. So there's our 28.30-ish level, right? We just came up to 29.50. We want to see volume continue up here and continue to this upside. Weak spot on the profile is now 27.25, where they kind of squeezed out all those sellers. Call put count is settling. 54.21. You can see Apple's breaking out to the upside here. Still getting some good volume up here on the upside. Sellers trying to do a little bit of backfilling down this 26.75. Sellers just got trapped on the 26.25 or 27.25, excuse me. We don't trade back down to that 26.25, probably see more short covering. And then the next target's going to be this volume cluster up here, 38. So we're looking to see volume around this 28 to 30 level. This is what we were talking about in the trade view this morning. We can see some volume up here. We should be able to find what we need to get some continuation to the upside. But this could be a reaction spot for sellers to try to hold as well. So we've got to be careful for that. But we always want to sell into strength. Yeah, and there we go. Sellers still trapped down at that 24.75. I flattened just so you guys know. You know, not gonna keep carrying that one. Close the last one at 28. A little bit of offering coming in here. Still have some overhead resistance. Yeah, we do have overhead resistance. What's that for? Oh, for the milk? Okay. Okay. Is there enough? So sellers still trapped down at that 24.75. That's their level that they're trying to get down to here, and they're offering this 26. Yeah, there they go. So let's just hang back, see what we get. You know, we can kind of imagine that this A period in between is a little bit of single prints, right? And so if they don't trade back through that, then that's going to show weakness from the sellers. I like green better. Going to show weakness from these sellers. We are starting to trade back through it now. Strength from buying would be to see this point of control shift up, do a little bit of backfilling, and then that would give us that confirmation to move to the upside. So got to pay attention here and see what we get. Remember, offer sitting up at the 25.25, doing a little bit of backfilling here. Watch this Globex high. This is sitting at the 23. That's where all the shorts got squeezed out initially on this upside. Sectors are starting to flip back to red. Yeah, you're seeing the breath cool off a little bit. The sectors are really mixed. The only thing is that the information technology sector is really holding the market up so far. So we'll keep a close eye on Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Tesla. Tesla's on the gas here, just fucking ruining my puts. I'll just hold them all the way till expiration like a degenerate. Market is looking a little bit weak right now. Looking to find these buyers at this Globex high here. Offers moving down. 25.30 is getting offered. Or 23.50, excuse my dyslexia. Call counts are starting to pick up. 107 to 45. Got some sellers that got trapped right there at the 23.25. I don't think this downside auction is over just quite yet, though. But I could be wrong. Been wrong a lot. odd times before. Christ. Phone's blowing up. So they get back down there, they repair. There's some buyers getting stuck up here at the 24.5. They need to take this thing back up. We saw the point of control not really shift up, but we saw a lot of volume come in on that 25. And it looked like buyers got a little bit too long right there, and they might have been trapped. So let's look for some backfilling in this area. That's what I'm looking for. Look for this backfill here and see if we can get some buyers to step up. Remember, we do have 15 minutes until those ISM numbers come out. Right, those could be big numbers. We want to be patient and wait for those numbers to kind of cool the market off, or give the market a little bit of direction that it's looking for here. But we keep going down a little bit here, right? It did look like this was kind of what these sellers were trying to get after. Now let's see if we can find some momentum sellers to pile in and get trapped down here in this area. If not, and we don't find these buyers in this weak spot, probably rotate back down to that 17 point of control. Okay, some sellers trapped on the 2050 here. They get back down there, they repair. Trapped again on the 2050. Nice. Now they got to get over this volume nodule at 25 here. These buyers do. If not, back down.
Hey, one thing that I'm looking at is that on the MES, it's building more volume up at the 41.25, whereas on the ES, all the volume is still down at 41.17. So, what would that mean? You
Well,
think that's just you think that's just the way it is, and you got to go still go with the ES?
yeah, I would go with the ES just because the ES are the big players. MES is, you know,
People like me.
like retail traders, yeah, like people like us. Whereas
Yeah.
like the ES, you're getting these like big contracts. That's like I was telling my buddy Jared the other day, he's like, you wonder if I place 35 contract order if it affects the market. And I was telling him no, because I'm looking at my time in sales right now and I see 82 lot order, 99 lot order, 54 lot order, 47 lot order, 30 lot order, 73, 92, 33, 41, like just all these big orders coming through, where a 35 lot order, which I'm not saying that's not a big order, but it's just not in the scheme of things a big. And then when you divide that by 10 to get to the MES, it gets even less. So yeah, the volume that we want to pay attention to is definitely the ES volume. Mechanical buying off the open here. Still looks like it's coming down. Call counts and put counts are evening out a bit. This is why we're going to be patient. So I'm just going to stay out of a trade until we get to this next 13 minutes is up, and get a little bit of information from this ISM manufacturing numbers. Crypto Mojo, good morning, good morning. How you doing? So what was the key level that we talked about today so far? Does anyone have it written down? Anyone want to type it in the chat?
41.1750.
No, it's not
What
live.
what key point are you looking for?
So 4120 is where we saw
4120 was
yeah,
a lot of
4120 is
volume.
where we saw
Yeah.
capitulation from the sellers initially giving up their shorts, and that's what caused that upside on the market. So what we'll look for today is for the market to stay above that 4120, and that will signal a little bit of strength. Every time the market dips below that 4120, I know it's still above the open, but every time we dip below that 4120, that's showing a bit of weakness from these buyers, because you figure if that's where sellers started to capitulate, in order for all of these sellers to get out, you've got to have someone willing to buy all these stops from them, or buy all these stops from them. So boom, Rugsby 4120, look at you. Right, and so that's where these buyers showed strength initially, and that's going to be the area that we'll watch for today as the market continues on. That's why it's always good to have a little notepad, or a memory like mine. I'm like an elephant sometimes. uh or the iPad. That's normally what I write down my stuff on. That's how my memory is so good, is because I write everything down on the Good Notes app. Not sponsored by Good Notes or anything, but probably should be, because it's so cool. I don't know if it's just for iPad, but I think it works on anything. You can have it on your phone too. So it's just really, really cool because it's connected to all your devices. So like if you're, typing notes on your desktop computer, and then you're away from your computer, but you have your iPad, you write some notes on there, and then you're away from your iPad, but you have your phone, everything just goes with you, right? And I know there's some other things that can do that, but this thing just centrally locates it and everything. I have an iPad with the Apple Pencil, yeah. James bought it for me. Such a sweetheart.
Hey,
Even though it's chewed the
4120
fuck
is
up.
4120 is the when we took that huge slide down that skipped over a bunch of stuff. 4121 is the top of the Globex that right before where it had built up a bunch of value, and then it just slid down in that morning, because I have that marked to get on the way back up. And then there's another one up above, which was relatively close to where you were talking about, that 4150. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I see it right here. Yeah, you can see, I mean, the Globex, it looks like there is, either it's hard to decipher, and I've been kind of mulling this over since yesterday. I was talking with James and Jared about it. Is 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 it, are we seeing an other time frame seller move down and sell this market, or are we just seeing exhaustion from buyers, and then the market just tends to fade from that area? It's really kind of hard to tell. um and so from there, it's just kind of like we really have to be careful up towards those areas. And really, honestly, some of the most dangerous trades are probably from this area, just because of what you're talking about, Dad. You've seen kind of both sides. Like we've seen this 4120, right? It's a previous point of control, act as support, and the market boosted up. But we've also seen it act as resistance, and then the market liquidate down after. So that's why I think it's such a key level. Tends to be, a bit of dangerous trading, but also, some of the most dangerous trades, or some of the most risky trades, are also some of the most rewarding trades as well.
Looks to me
Hey,
like Tesla's coming down right now.
Yeah, good
why
motherfuckers.
why would it dive during the Globex like that did that one time, where it dropped like I think 70 or 75 points all of a sudden
That
during the Globex, and then not recover back when the regular market opens up? Because that's just, hey, that doesn't seem, the regular traders would be like, oh, that's too low, let's take it back up. They just kept going down.
yeah, and the reason I think, because of the market sentiment still is a bit bearish, right? People are still wanting the market to go down, and people are still thinking that the market is going to go down, just because of all the issues. But that day that you're talking about was the day that they announced that Nancy Pelosi was going to go to China, and China said that they'll shoot her plane down. So there was all of this, fear mongering going on the internet, and the market is very emotional and very illiquid overnight. So really anybody can kind of bully the market around at nighttime because most of the big players in America are asleep. So, it's and then when they opened, right, and we saw that short covering rally at the end of the day that you're talking about, because all of these players that had been in from the overnight had to eventually start to cover. Kyle said if you merge the last 3 days, the profile, the point of control is 4121. I like the sound of that.
What did he say for the last how many days? 3 days?
4120. Yeah, for this balance zone that we're in, the point of control is 4120. That's nice.
Yeah.
So we saw that the VPOC here shift up. Now we want to see if they're going to get continuation up here and can continue buying above that Globex high. We got 6 minutes until this ISM number comes out. Yeah, the breadth looks good. 3-1 on the Nasdaq, 2-3 on the NYSE. We take a little peek around the block before this half hour ends. We're looking at Bitcoin's up 1.6, oil's up 0.1, just basically flat. The ES is up 0.8. Gold is down 0.3, so a little bit of fear coming out. Nasdaq's up 1.3, Russell's up 0.8, Dow's up 0.68. Dow was lagging behind big time yesterday. Bonds are down. Bonds got a smackarooski yesterday, as we can see. Apple up almost 2% here, really just driving the market to the highs here. So this could be, and I'm really looking to see if we're going to break that previous day's high on Apple. AMD's down actually 1.7, but that's just because of the Globex sell-off yesterday. Amazon 2.5 up. Google up 2%. Meta's even up 3.25%, 3.5%. Microsoft up 1.35. Peter, thank you for the like. Netflix up 2%, and Tesla is up almost 2%, 1.8. So just really being a gigantic pain in the ass here. But, that's what I get. So, what are you going to do? Back up to this 28 level. This is where I'd like to see volume come in. The weighted AD that I have I have it set to 5 minutes. You could set it to 15 minutes if you want. I just like it on the 5 minutes. So we're getting pretty much what we wanted. We want to see this volume shift up. Now we want to see this continuation here. We want to see these buyers continue to step up and hold these higher prices. The only thing that's making me kind of bitch out of this trade up here is that ISM number comes out here in 3 minutes. Could be a grinder. Yeah, definitely could be. Currently out of this 3-day range on the Nasdaq. Did the Nasdaq break out? Oh yeah, Nasdaq's breaking the highs of its balance. Nasdaq's been kind of leading too, though. Apple's gassing hard too. We go 2 minutes until this report comes out. This is where it takes extreme patience. You know, this is where you grab that fidget spinner that I always tell you to have on your desk, or grab something. You know, get a Rubik's cube, or like right now I have Legos that I have. I just, you know, pull them apart and put them back together. Pull them apart, put them back together. You know, it keeps my hands busy and away from my mouse. Really a two-way market right now, with volume coming in on both sides here. Those look like some buyers that might be trapped down at the 26 quarter. Offers up at the 30 here. So the next trade that I'm looking for here after this ISM comes out is I'd like to see the market pull back and not break the 24 basically like 24 flat. I'd like to see it hold above that 24 flat, and then we'll target that well, the 30 will be the first target, and then the second target will be, what's that prior day's high or prior day level? Yeah, right there, 36-ish, where that kind of value cluster came in yesterday. So here's B period. Let's see what we get. Comes right down to the 24, bounces. Let's see if we can hold above this 24 level here. Nope. We're pushing down, so, you know, trade is disqualified there. So the impulse came in from about 27 quarter. I want to see the market establish above this 24. It seems like we got a liquidation right there. The number was a beat. Out my Legos. Curtis, come here. So breath really cooling off here as grab this one. Fine. Thanks. Is it alright if I play with this?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Thanks. So as we're coming down, let's watch this 20 level. There should be a level where we see buyers start to step up again and try to hold. That half back, the B period looks pretty strong right there. We are just getting some overhead weakness. Apple wasn't able to break above that T2 high either. Anyone want a fidget toy? Make them on your 3D printer? Oh, cool.
All right, let's see if the 20 holds. Doing a damn good job.
Yeah, so far not bad. All right, weak spots on this 2475. It's an area where we're looking for buyers to step up earlier, with that they didn't, but now let's see if they're willing to now that they held that 20. Sellers trying to offer this 2475 still, and looks like they're getting stuck a little bit here. They're moving down though. Seller still offering the 24.75. Big order just traded right there on the 25. Might have just got some covering from some of these sellers. All puts now 44 to 84. Nice. Weak spot 27.75 now. Nice. Hold. All right, there's the 30. Let's see if we can get these buyers up here and start to continue this move to the upside. Remember, we're looking for that 36 as the next spot. That's where that value was at yesterday. 36, 37, 38-ish level. Sellers got trapped right here on the 30. If they don't get back down to the 30, look for a nice pop of short covering. They're trying to absorb. There we go. Next liquidity level, it looks like, is the 40. There's 253 lots up there. Offers still trying to come in up here at the top. Weak spot on the profile is 31.5 here. If they can't get below 31.5, they cover again. The Fox. Weak spot big time on that 33.25. I can show you the world. So let's look for a response here. This is an area where we saw some value yesterday start to form, and this could be an area that we see a responsive seller try to come out and decide that they want to, make a decision here. Weak spot still down that 30, 33.75 down to like 32. Fucking Apple's just on a tear to the upside here. Looking to get above that 165. Pretty much everything is flipping green for the most part. Facebook really killing it, up about 4% already. Tesla's also doing well, up 2%, but not as well as everyone else. The VIX is cooling off here, right? VIX is down below 23 again. Sellers are trying to offer this 34.50, looking to repair some of this weak spot here, do a little bit of backing and filling. See only 131 contracts trade right here. They hold the 32 for now. So the Nasdaq's just driving the market up right now. Dow flipped red. Oh, the Dow did flip red. Holy shit, you're right. I wonder why. Is oil going up? Not too much. We're still getting volume up here at the 35. Heck, just carrying the ES up. Dow could be lagging here if... Oh, the Dow just flipped back to green. What a move. Big flip on the Dow right there. Apple's up 2.5% now. Seller's trying to hammer this 33 quarter here. Offers moving down. Buying is looking, starting to fade off here a little bit. See if buyers are going to step up. Apple chilling off a little bit here. Oh, that was a minute ago. My bad. That prior day high, it seems like the next target up here, 41.31, and then that 41.75 quarter where that polar high is at would be the next target if they're able to find buyers to get this continuation to the upside. Remember, this is very similar to what we just saw in the first period, right? During A period, we saw weak spot in the mid. Whoa. We saw a weak spot in the middle, right? We saw a weak spot like right here. We're seeing the same thing again. So what we'll look for is really that 30 is where I like the 30 to 28 level. See if they come back down here, find the buyers, do some backing and filling, and then look to test that prior day high here. The breadth is starting to cool off a little bit, but the NASDAQ breadth still remains pretty strong. Seller's still offering that 33 quarter pretty heavily here. I have my last stop at 32 in case anyone was wondering. I'm just barely hanging in this trade. But if it trades below 32, I'll let myself out. Back above that volume cluster, we need some buyers to step up here. Remember, we're above yesterday's value area now, so we need some buyers to initiate at these higher prices that they were kind of unwilling to initiate at yesterday to get some continuation to the upside. And that target's going to be the 43 here. And this impulse kind of started from the 33, so I'm going to move my stop up to that 33. We've got a weak spot on the 34.75. If we get continuation here, I'm going to move my stop to 34.50. Just giving this one, I have one lot left on, just giving this thing room to breathe here. Looks like we're getting ready for a pop. You've got some liquidity kind of just, bracing for impact up here from about 38 to 40. So it might not be able to pump through it if it can't find the buyers, and I'm fine getting out at 34.50 if it's unable to. Facts, good commentary. Thanks, Jason. You guys hear Curtis? Trying to talk to the TV. Shrek 3. So that overhead is still holding for now. You can see a little bit of resistance coming in up here, some volume coming in. Barely in this thing still. All right, just move my stop to 34. Yeah, I'm out. That got me. Got me. So we'll look for some backing and filling in this area here, on this this extension of yesterday's value. You're starting to see some good volume come in there, but it does look like it's getting absorbed by some of these sellers overhead. These overhead sellers are kind of stacking up. So if we do break the 40, I think might just run straight to that 47 quarter and kind of test it here. There's a lot of volume that's going to need to be absorbed up here at these highs in order for the market to get some continuation right here. So just, be patient, and then, manage risk for sure when you're up at these highs. If you're not in a position already, right, it's a tough spot to jump into a position when we're up at the highs right here. Call put ratio is now 44.84. I'll be right back. Curtis, what's he doing?
Gordon, go.
What?
Sorry about that, guys. I'm streaming the dog. He's smart, and when he wants attention, he just picks up a shoe and starts carrying it around because the kids will chase him, and he likes to be chased. He's a little fucking weirdo. So with CH charts, are you actually placing orders through, or are you just using it for charting? What do you mean, chum waffle CH charts? You're talking about Sierra charts? Yes, through Sierra charts, I place my orders on the DOM. It's on a different screen. But not really a useful tool until you really know how to use it. But if honestly, like I said, if you can't decipher the order flow through just the TPO and the overall volume, splitting it into bid and ask isn't going to help you.
Hey Brad, so would it be a little too risky to try to catch a fade from like 36 down into that weak spot on the profile?
I mean, that's just up to you. It just depends on, like, if you can get a nice fill, right? So like, let's say this thing pops up above this 36, and you just manage at the 38, and yeah, you look for it to trade back down into like the 30 where this weak spot is, or this 31 quarter. That could be a decent fade, but not really something I'm looking to do. I'm looking like more for the opposite, honestly, looking for it to trade down here around this 30, some volume to come in
Just so you could buy, yeah.
and come back up. Yeah. Thomas said
Yeah.
the volume's down from yesterday.
That's why I said a fade. I wasn't gonna stay in it.
Well, no. Well, yeah. It's just not. I just don't fade the market very much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go against,
Yeah.
if the market, here's the open, we're above the open. I'd rather, especially with volume moving up as we've been going up, I'd rather just wait. If we get closer to this high, definitely opportunity for a fade. I mean, even honestly from here, from that 36, this thing could retrace all the way because we're towards the high of this balance zone. Here's a high, right? So this balance zone, I mean, this is only 10 handles. That's not really, a huge range there. So, it could be a fade all the way back down. It's just
Yeah,
something that
I
I
mean,
kind of stick
I
away
missed
from.
it anyway. I was thinking about doing it. I was thinking about because it popped up again in 36, and I was like, oh, there's 3 fails up here, and I was like, nah. It's- It sounded like a good little fade down into the 30, but since we broke anyway, now I'm like, damn, wish I would have been in it, but I wasn't.
Yeah. So when when the volume's getting heavy overhead like that, Gordon, hush. When the volume's getting heavy like that at the top, there's definitely opportunity for a fade. It just depends on kind of the order flow that's coming in, really. I just would rather, I would rather take it long. I'm more or better at identifying long trades. Even though last week my short trades were almost 100%. I just didn't take very many. So we've got weak spots on the way down here, 29.5 through 28.5. Buyers are trapped all the way from like 32. Coming back down to half back here. Back down to that value area high. So we want to see if the market's going to get accepted outside of yesterday's range or if they're going to trade back inside yesterday's range, right? So we have 2 TPOs above, we have 2 TPOs below. So with about 10 minutes left, that's really going to be the key. Are we going to start developing value higher above yesterday's range, or are we going to start to become, a little bit more rotational and develop value back inside yesterday's range? And that's kind of where we're at right now, right? Here's value area high. Apple's cooling off a little bit here. Back to that 20 right there. Get a little pop right here if buyers step up. Sellers are coming down pretty strong, really trying to get covered, it looks like. This thing could just rip back up probably to like 27 again. What do we got? 10 minutes until the next period opens up. We're right here at the top of this value. Seller's still trying to move down here on this 23. Struggling a bit. Big order trades on that one at 23, 133 lots, and you saw a little bit of liquidation back down to that 22. $41.20 is an important level. Yeah, it does seem like that. Not really seeing any sellers getting overly short here yet. Big order just comes through on the 23 and then trades right back below it again. So it looks like someone is covering down here on the 23, and that's what's kind of making me think that you might see if we don't get any downside continuation past this 20, then we might see a rip back up. Someone looks to be, filling in some big orders down here, it looks like. Only thing that makes me kind of nervous about this 23 is it's the Globex high, and now it's the point of control here too, so could be mechanical traders here, and that's not really indication of either side of the market. Remember, our impulse from that ISM manufacturing number was 27.5. I had to get used to, even though I think it's going to come down, that sometimes it doesn't mean you have to trade it. You have to fight the feeling of FOMO and thinking you will have a trade. Better to wait for that A+ setup. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, I mean, if I had a nickel for every trade that I didn't take that would have worked, I fucking wouldn't need to trade. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
If you had a nickel for every trade you shouldn't have taken, you'd be broke.
No, I don't know. I've taken a lot of trades throughout my time that I shouldn't have taken. Like I said, I'm like Domino, you know, I'm just like my superpower is that I'm extremely lucky. Combine that with a very tight grasp on psychology and a lot of extensive uh you know, effort and training into understanding the market, you know, culminates well together. You're glad I acknowledge that I'm lucky. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, everyone should know that sometimes they get lucky. If you think that, you know, it's like Phil Hellmuth said, like, if there was no luck involved, I'd win every hand. You know, that's just like the most cocky thing in the whole world, especially in poker, you know, just crazy, a crazy thing to say. Yeah, it is crazy that he of all poker players would say that. But I mean, it's iconic and it kind of matches his personality because he is always just like, you know, trancing people with just being shitty players. Like when they call him and they have better hands, they're like, "Why?" He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why would you call that? You're an idiot." Like he just goes in on people and they're like, "I beat you." And he's like, "Dumbass. You should have folded. I should have won that hand." Like and it's like, oh, he's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he does. So sellers are just slowly moving down here, but that 23 level, we keep visiting it, and I've seen a bunch of big orders trade on that 23. I'm just kind of waiting to see here if they're gonna make a decision. Where are you guys going? What are you doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, big bid on the 20. Yeah, it looks like they want that 20. Yeah, and these sellers are just consistently moving down too, and not getting overly short, right? Not getting short in the hole. So it looks like they want to, you know, get some downside rolling. I'm just wondering, is this mechanical selling? These sellers trying to sell the Globex high or sell that previous day value area high? Let's go ahead and just mark that for now. We'll see what we can do here. Let's put it at the 50. Settle. Impulse, we'll call it VAH. Okay. Now at least we know where it's at. Oh, whoa. What are you doing here? Whoa, you motherfucker. That hand tool. Oh my god. Keep doing this. Trying to piss me off. Tools. About to get super frustrated for a second. Oh, you just click on it. So I have them all preset, right? So you just click change drawing properties, and then I have all these preset to different things. And then you just, when you want to change them, you just change the config name, click save, and then load, and then it does it for you.
I swear, Brad, I gotta work on my, not my entries, but my exits. I got filled right there at 2050
Mm-hmm.
and I took profit at 23.75.
Yeah. Vagine.
I know, so weak. So weak.
You know, and that's just going to come with time, though, Jared. Like, it's just going to come with time and market confidence and kind of understanding what we're doing. Because so it came down to that 20. I got filled. What did I get filled on here? I got filled on 21 quarter. So I got filled actually higher than you, but it never came back down to that 2050 this whole time. And we kept seeing these big orders trade, and it just
I
made
know,
me kind of
I know.
think that, you know, someone was out there just kind of covering their position, you know, being a little weak baby back, you know, chilies.
I
Oh yeah,
know.
I've changed my menu big time, Alex. Yeah, whenever I do anything like, you know, I focus on getting it the way that I want it pretty much all the time. Like when I first got on Sierra charts, like that's all I did was just watch videos on Sierra charts on how to use it, and then started messing with it a bunch until I figured it out to get the way that I wanted it. And then once I got, bid moving up right here at the 30 quarter. This, let's see if these bids are real here. They close. We shouldn't see much of a retracement past this 27 again. If we do, then we'll know that, you know, that was just a little short covering pop there. But yeah, I mean, I mess with my stuff until I get it the way that I want it. You know, pretty much all the time. Or else I like if I when I switch to Sierra charts, if I couldn't get it the way that I wanted it, I just wouldn't have used it. I would have just been like, yeah, pass. Volume coming in up here. Looks like, I don't know, it kind of looks like absorption from selling. Here comes C period. Let's see what we get here. C period opening up back inside value. So we are seeing some value shift up above yesterday's value area high so far. And then we want to pay attention to developing point of control here, right? So we have our point of controls right here where the 3 TPOs are at. We want to pay attention where it's going to develop at. Oh, get off my mouse. There we go. I'm moving my stop up here to 28. I'll keep it on 27. I'll give them a point of breath. All right. But we want to see is this thing going to start to develop higher, or are we going to get C period retracement and start to just, you know, kind of backfill this area? And there we go. I got taken out right there. And develop this point of control overlapping from value from yesterday. So right now we have overlapping value to higher, but our point of control, right, is technically in the center of these 3 TPOs, and we can see right there, you know, that it's just right above yesterday's value area high. So let's just do some imagining for a second and think about if we get D period, which I know isn't for another 29 minutes, but let's say D period opens up right here and we get D period trades up to here. What does that do to our point of control, right? Really nothing, because we're just going to have 4 TPOs from here to here. So our point of control, depending upon, you know, where the volume is not really going to change. But then let's say E period opens up here and starts to go here, starts to go up, and then F period opens up. Well, now we've got 4 TPOs up here. We had 4 TPOs down here. So now we're starting to see a shift up of the point of control, right? And this is where, you know, it comes in to have to try to use your imagination to really kind of almost build the puzzle before the puzzle is finished, right? Before you get to see the full picture, you're trying to use your imagination. And you know, maybe that's why I have such success a lot of times, is because, you know, I fucking live in fantasy land. Imagination. Bro, these Celsiuses are good. Especially this peach mango green tea. No high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. No red 12 or green 18 or whatever those things are called. There's a big bid sitting on the 20 here, 314 lots. If C period doesn't take the B low here, and that would be a fill of that 20, and if it doesn't take and sustain really this B low, it's going to show some big weakness from some of these sellers. Brad equals SpongeBob. Imagination. My little brother, Austin, he was big SpongeBob. My dad's a big SpongeBob fan too, actually. You know, they actually said the F word on SpongeBob one time. Don't believe me, YouTube that shit. Austin, oh, there, Austin's in here. He's still in. Yeah, SpongeBob's good, man. It's a cartoon that like you can watch as a kid and an adult. What's up, Austin? I didn't even know you're in here.
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. Just started my morning.
Nice. When do you start work?
I start in September, first week of September, but I start school on the 22nd of August. So just a few more weeks left before I'm completely distracted.
Nice. Broach, too many shorts on that last run to 20. Maybe we should get it this time. Yeah, let's see if they can. If they don't get this 20 again, you know, that'll be pretty key in letting us know. They're trying here. That's funny, Alex. Bunch of SpongeBob sandcastles. All right, so they're getting some offers trading down here. Big offer just comes through. 511 contracts trade on that low tick. And you've got some sellers trapped on the low tick here. Fuckload of them. They're moving down. There they go. Okay, so they got it. Weak spot in the profile. You're starting to see liquidation now. Targets the open. They got the open. Now they're going to target that A low. Damn it. Put counts are 18 to 121. So put counts are really starting to pick up. Apple's coming back down here a little bit. Still, I mean, still up pretty decent. AMD's down about 2%. So now what happens, right? Now let's say D period opens up. Let's just say right here, now we have 3 TPOs down here. So if we would have 3 TPOs from here, and then 3 TPOs from here, and if we get volume that comes in down here below the open, that would show us developing value or developing point of control is heading lower, right? And inside yesterday's value. When I was in the Army, we did a cadence, a SpongeBob cadence one time, and it pissed off the drill sergeants like super bad. Our platoon guide, as they call it in basic training, he was like, "Are you ready, kids?" And everyone was just ready. Like everyone in the platoon was just ready. And they're like,
Hey, oh, sorry, Brad. I was
go
gonna
ahead.
ask you a quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
So this is kind of weird. I haven't seen this before. So price was at 21 and I entered a Wong at, or I'm sorry, I entered the long at 21 and price was right at 21. And I set my stop loss at 1950. But like whenever it like jumped down like that, it actually closed me out at 18, even though my stop loss was at 1950.
So it just depends on where you were in line. So because it's a market order, I mean that's a pretty good amount of
I've had that
slippage.
happen.
I mean that's kind of a lot of slippage. If you were you had it at 19.
What's that? Yeah, well, my stop loss was at 1950, but it stopped me out at 18. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's kind
I've
of
had it happen the other way too, where your take profit is at like 20 and it goes all the way up to like 2050 or 21 because it moves so fast.
right. So it
Oh.
depends on the order number that you're in, right? So like if you look on like a DOM or something, you could see how many orders are resting on that spot, right? So if you look at 20 right now, there is 93 orders resting on 21. Well, let's say you are number 93 and the offer moves down and only, let's say only 90 orders trade. Well, it's going to keep moving you back in line, but you don't get to jump to the front of the line at 1975. You jump to the back of that line and you didn't get filled there and jump to the back of the next line and then so forth and so on is how that works. So you've got all these people just kind of waiting in line. And let's say, only so many orders fill on that 19 and you were in this line somewhere, but you didn't get filled. Well, now you got to go to the back of this line. Only so many orders get filled in this line, but you're still behind that. So now you have to go to this line and it'll just keep moving down until enough offers fill and you get filled to close your trade.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I was just wondering. I was like, oh, I got a shitty fill right there on my close. I had a really tight stop loss. It was like, a point basically. I was like, yeah, I'll take this, take this trade. And yeah, it stopped me out. And I was like, what? Where? How did I get stopped out down there? Okay. That makes sense.
And it's a machine that does it.
Yeah, and because you're on rhythmic data too, that the rhythmic is not the fastest, right? There's a lot of other people that are paying a lot more money for data that are, getting priority, unfortunately. So they try to make it as fair as possible, but in reality, it's just not that fair. With that 4120 being a big level, there was probably lots of stops. And if the book was thin under 41, 1975, 1950, etc., then you were at the back of the market order line. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you can see, look at the advanced decline here. You're starting to see it turn down. So starting to get a little bit negative, which is indicative of the market kind of rolling over here. And look at the breadth on the NYSE is almost flat, 1.1 to 1. Information technology really the only thing holding the market up. And if the NASDAQ turns over, and we can flip this thing over to the triple Q, we can track the NASDAQ a little bit, and you can see the NASDAQ is kind of rolling over here. If the NASDAQ continues to roll over, it could really bring the market down because this upside was pretty much caused by tech, as we saw. Volume's 14% lower. Quick plug, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are watching us for the first time or have been watching us for a while and are not in the Discord, just post, hey, I want to be in the Discord, or send me an email at brad@thetradevets and I will send you the link to the Discord. If you scroll down below the video and notice that the link doesn't work, right? You know, that's on purpose. So it was like a happy accident actually, but it's gonna stay like that. I like it. Yeah, we got about 14% less volume, that's true. Weekly VWAP right here at the 4116 as well, and you see a lot of offers coming in down at that 18 level. Let's see if they can break it. If they can't break that 18 level again, we may be cleared for some more upside above that 20, but we want to see how they act down here. We had a chance to push to the upside, didn't really get a lot of volume above that 30 level, right? Had some volume come in around that 35, but really weren't able to take any more upside. Now we're pushing back down and we're starting to see some volume fill in this lower area. Go back to the 20 here. So sellers cover on that 21 quarter. There's the weak spot. See if they can get continuation here. Sellers trying to absorb here. Sellers trying to offer this 23 quarter, but they're not doing a very good job here. The volume's getting pretty thin. Look at the weighted AD starting to turn back up here too. A lot of these offers backed off now that we're just kind of hanging out in this area here. Really trying to find, the market's trying to decide if it's going to be accepted above or below yesterday's value area. And right now it just, you know, seems like everyone's just selling the top of yesterday's value area. We got some sellers that are still trapped on that 2075. As long as we stay above that, we should be good to keep riding this. Move my stop right now to 22 quarter. Might take me right here. Ooh, sellers trapped on the 23 quarter right there. Oh, they get back down. Okay, they got saved there. Nope, they're still trapped 23 quarter. They're trapped. Nice. $88 contracts on that top tick there. They get back down to the 23 quarter. They cover it. They keep offering this 23 quarter and they're not making any progress. Trapped again down at that 23. See if we get the breath to start paying attention here. Remember, the next level up is at 28 to 30 levels where, you know, that we've seen a little bit of resistance. These offers are starting to move down 27 area. That was a big level from yesterday. Actually, that's been a big level all week as well, that 27. This 27 has acted as a bigger area pretty much all week. Watch this 23 quarter again. See if sellers get busy again here. Let's see if these buyers are about that life. There they go. Take some stops. Weak spot 25.75. We're starting to see that liquidation from these sellers. Or short covering, I guess you would call it. But got sellers trapped on the 26.75 there. I'm going to put my stop at 25.75 and give this thing a little bit of breathing room now. Remember, we're coming into this 28.30 level. This is the area where we've seen some resistance before, so we've got to pay attention. You know, we're going to need some buyers to initiate at these higher prices. All right, I'm move my stop to 27.75. I don't really trust this high that much. My target is still this 43 here. So I'm still, you know, still got a long target in case this thing breaks out, but tight stop now. 27.75 in case you missed it. Really should be like 26.50, honestly. Just don't trust the upside too much right here. Triple Q's trying to turn around here a little bit too. Yeah. Teo, what's up? So pretty rare that I do this, but I closed on that 27.50. Actually, I got filled. I had my stop on 27.75, and then I re-entered on the same level. But I've just got my finger on the flat button. If we don't make a decision to the upside here, I'm just gonna call it. Looks like some sellers just got trapped on the 28.50 there this time. That offer showing back up on the 40.
Brad, are you just watching the TPO here? Like that's how like when you're making these observations about sellers being trapped and
Oh, for
is that
that I'm really kind of looking at the DOM. But
okay?
it's I mean, it's more just like refreshing to see the movement. And a lot of times when we see what you're looking for on the TPO is you're looking for to see if they get trapped or not, is that immediate retracement and then a not like a no return, right? So as we're coming back down, I mean, like right here to this weak spot in the profile or weak spot in the current last 30 minutes, right? So at this 27 level, if we come down here and then it pops back up and then doesn't come back down to that 27, that's making me think, okay, these guys are trapped. So we had some sellers, especially if volume comes in, right? So we traded that 27 that time, maybe. I had my mouse over it, so let's see. The volume coming in. You can see the heavy volume coming in. Ticks down. So sellers are trapped right here. And that's just from the TPO, right? Just based off the reaction here. So as they get back down to this level, it ticks back up. So there's a buyer here. And then so once we've identified the buyer and you can see, look, the volume's starting to fill in. So now what we want to assume, right, is if we get back down to this weak volume and we see volume start to grow, that this guy is going to have to cover, right? So he might be trapped up here now if price starts to hang out below him too much. But I mean, it looks like for the most part, he's really just filling this spot in here. Seeing the volume grow here at the 29 now. But if we get too far below this buyer here, I mean, he'll probably hold on, honestly, all the way till down here, but someone is definitely up here trying to you know, lift the offer to bring the market up. As we saw, like it just ticked, it ticked, it ticked. And eventually he got tired, so he'll move his bid down somewhere. And the spot below was this 27 that we've seen be, you know, a fairly big level the past couple of days. And so we want to see, because this profile is weak here, is this guy going to start to fill in this area? And if not, if he decides that he's done, right, he filled whatever his position was, then we should see a move back down to the point of control. If we don't, there should be some filling in of this area here. We saw some volume come in here, right? We had two 1800s, now we got all over 2000 here. We are seeing some volume move up from the point of control to start to fill in this area. What we'd like to see is just see this bar turn white right here. One of these bars up here turn white. And that would be the next level of volume moving up there. And that would kind of, you know, give us this key that this upside continuation is still good to go. Triple Q coming up to that 320 level here. Actually seeing some offers move down here at the 31 quarter, 297 lots down there at that 31 quarter now. But they, every time we've got up there, they didn't trade. They moved back, and they just moved back again there. So just a hard flex right there. No, this is the last 30 minutes, Roach. So it's not the current 30 minutes. It's just the last 30 minutes. So it's, I mean, it's close, but like, so you'll see when D period opens up in the next 3 minutes, it's not going to change. It's not going to go to 0. Like, it's not just going to disappear. It'll still show the last 30 minutes of trading. And I have it set up like that because it helps me at least see, like, you know, recent volume. Because if it were to disappear, I could just assume, okay, here's the point of control. But I want to see the volume increase right here. The overall volume right here is not as important to me, and I could turn it on, right? And if it, you know, if it helps you guys, I have no problem with that at all. Total volume, display volume in bars, total volume. You know, we could put it like that. And that doesn't look too bad to me. But like, you know, it's not as telling if we get 24,000 volume, comes back to 24,000 volume, whereas if this thing's 8,000, comes back down, it's just easier for me to account for it, if that makes sense.
The last 30 minutes, you mean the last 30 minutes and the current? Because how do the numbers move if it's the last 30-minute bar, in other words?
No, it's not the last 30-minute bar, it's just the last 30 minutes. So it's a continuous tally of the last 30 minutes of volume.
Oh, I got you. So every minute you're losing the last minute.
Exactly.
Like, in other words, it just stays the last 30. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
I was thinking the last 30-minute bar, but it's moving.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
And that just kind of helps me track, you know, where the volume's coming in. So like, right, we had that big volume down here, and now we're starting to see the big volume up here because some of this volume is getting old, stale orders. And that's why you know, I like to see like, okay, we're moving up. Want to see if this volume is going to be continuing with us, because I'm always trying to imagine the forward progression that we're getting. This VWAP is
Yeah, I
right
got
here.
you. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. This VWAP's right here at the 26, the daily VWAP. Weekly VWAP is actually stepped up a little bit. It's up at 41.17, so it's up about a point. We've got 30 seconds until D period opens up. The offer's looking pretty weak here, but let's see what D brings. D could bring some liquidation just like C period did. Fairly tight range though. Right, we've got that A low about 41.12 and then that B high 41.38. Here goes D period. Let's see if they want to take that C high. C high sitting at 32-ish. Right, what is that, like 30? I think it's 32, 31.75 maybe. Go ahead and run these stops. Triple Q's trying to break out here. See the breath picking up in the NASDAQ 3-to-1. We did get a little bit of pickup in the breath on the NYSE too. It's 1.3 and it was 1.1 last period. So starting to see a little bit of growth here. Weak on that high right there. These buyers not really able to take it higher. These offers are still just kind of stacking up here. You see them move down and then you see them move away. I'd like to see some volume start to form, right? We've got 4 TPOs up here at the high above yesterday's value, telling us that our, you know, developing point of control is looking so far like it's going to continue moving higher. As long as they hold this thing above this 41.30 here, they should be clear for takeoff. And take us up to that prior day high. No follow through yet. Buying the previous high here still. Volume coming in right on the previous high. So some sellers could be getting stuck here. And if this thing keeps going up, we might see a bit more short covering. There's definitely an offer sitting like 31.75 though, right on the previous high. Trying to hold this thing back down into range. And they got it right there. Yeah. I got taken out on that one. I had my stop at 40.30. 41.30. So now we've identified where that seller is at, right? So this seller is sitting right here on this 31. See where that 6,000 is at? Right? See where the 2,000 is at? This 3175, 32 level, that's where that seller is at. And we know the buyer was down here from like the 27 to 28 level, right? So there's a very tight range that these guys are kind of battling in. If the market starts to hang out below or above either of these, this seller or the buyer, and these are locals probably, you know, shorter time frame traders, you'll look for them to flip. And if they flip, that's what causes these either the liquidation breaks or that short covering rally. Buyer's still sitting on the 28 there, looks like 28, 27. And then that seller, like I said, looks like the 31 to 32. We see, look at these volume bars turn white, right? That's what we were looking for to get some continuation to the upside. We wanted to see continued volume increasing above yesterday's value. So it looks like so far, I mean, it does seem like these are not really bigger traders, but it looks like to me that, you know, we're seeing some traders willing to initiate at these higher prices. This is what I like, Brad. I really enjoy the play-by-play. Helps you learn. Cool, man. Yeah. I like to talk through it. It helps me learn too, you know, so helps me improve and trying to get rid of my or I know I say a lot or right or you know, I have a couple crutch words that I'd love to be able to break through and not use anymore, but you know, what can you do? Big sell order on that 30 right there, 113 lots. You're gonna have to eat these orders. And so we're basically just trying to see, is this buyer that's down here, we got about 12,000, 18,000, 15,000, 9,000 here, about 7,000 up here. Is this buyer going to move up and absorb these orders that were sitting on the 32 here? It looks like he is. He's trying at least. Trying to lift these offers. They lift them all. There they are, 442 lots trade on that top tick right there. Or on that 32, not the top tick, but the 32. I feel like after 5 years, you'll finally get it. Triple Q trying to go here. See, here we go. Could start to see some of that short that was on, or that seller that was on the 32 to 31 start to hang out above this 32 too much. You're going to see them just jump out of their position. And then the next liquidity level is at 40, but really that 43 is going to be the target from these buyers. I wish it would only show it on the last one. Oh, I hate seeing these. little bit of volume coming up above this 33 here at the 33. See, they're just trying to fill this in, but it does look like buyers are stepping up, and you can see that triple Q is trying to break out as well. So the NASDAQ could drag up the ES here. Apple's up 2.7, Amazon's up almost 3%, Google's up 2.3, Meta's up almost 5%, Microsoft 1.7, Netflix up 1.6, Tesla's only up 1%. Offers moving down here quite a bit. Back into that 32 range. So that seller's still there. We didn't see him completely chicken out yet. But the longer we spend above this 32, the better odds that he's going to start to cover. And then the target for the buyer is obviously the B high, but the prior day high. There you go. There starts to cover a little bit of his position here. All right, weak spot on the profile is 35.5. Offers trying to move down into there. Buyers step up. Buyers still stepping up. Seller got trapped on the 35.50. See how this 35.50 right here just popped up again and again and again. Big offer gets lifted at the 36 here. See if they get this continuation. Weak spot on the profile is 36.5 now. 300 lots sitting on the 40. 315, 316 lots. So it looks like that's where it wants to go. Another weak spot on the 37.25. Not really seeing sellers get overly aggressive yet. But this could be, you know, a break of this B high could cause, you know, a really big range expansion, especially if it powers through these 40 lots. We just haven't seen a lot of follow through yet. Weak spot on the profile is still that 36.5. Offers moving down to the 38.5 here. Let's wait for him to get trapped again. We'll add. My stop's at 37 right now. But I might add on before a breakout if we see some sellers get trapped right here. They're trapped on the 38. If they hold this thing above 38, it should be good for some more upside. There's one tick on the 38, another tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks. Yeah, they got it. So they got back down to cover a little bit there. They're getting absorbed here. It looks like buyers are holding. Remember that weak spot on the profile is still 36.5. So these buyers are still absorbing up here, or at least trying to. Big offer moves down at the 38. Yeah, offers are moving down. Got that 36.5 again. They got me. They got me. Should have been a little bit more patient. Like they're just covering shorts on this 36.5 though, to be honest. Sellers just got trapped on that 36.5. Sellers are still stuck down there at that 36.5. So they came down 36.5 and then they covered some of those shorts here. Clear. Starting to see some volume. Look at 4,000. And so we're increasing above that high. And that's what we want to see, right? A little bit of a push back there. So buyers getting kind of weak up at the top, it looked like right there, actually. That was annoying. 4,000. That's mechanical, I think. See a little bit of tapering off this high here. That's not really ideal. We're starting to see a little bit of a half pipe form right here, right? But the volume, I mean, this is just the last 30 minutes. Volume is already up here. So if they're going to accept these prices, these buyers that are already long from up here, they should be buying more, right? Initiating these higher buy orders to get continuation here. If not, you'll probably get a reversion, and that'll be back down to the point of control, 41.27. So starting to see some buyers got trapped on that 36.50 this time. On the way back down, they gave it up. That 38 was the weak spot. So above the 38, they should get some continuation, but the offer does look like it's moving down now. We're coming up to that dreaded E period. What lingo, Alex? Like lifting offers, liquidation. Lifting offers. So if you think about lifting offers, right? So if we have our bid and ask, right? So ask is an offer, and then bid is a buy order. So if you're a buyer and you move up, you're lifting the offer. So you're a lifting of the offer. If you hear me say lifting the offer, that means buyers are stepping up to lift the offer. So aggressive buyers is what that would mean. Or selling the bid would mean sellers moving down and selling into the bid. Right? Because you have the bid here. Variable offer. You know, my mouse is only a chair's arm length wide because I'm sitting in a chair. You know, so you have the offer here, so selling into the bid or lifting into the offer.
All right, Brad, I'm gonna hop off.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Hit me up later.
All right, for sure.
All right, man. Good shit.
Yep.
All right, wait.
Wait. Yeah, TJ, the armchair is my mouse pad. That's why my drawing is terrible, and sometimes I can't find my mouse because I only have like so much space. I'd put my mouse on like a little bit more sensitive so I can move it around a little bit easier, but yeah, it's narrow. Sounds sweet.
Should I use a checkbook?
No, I have like everything's wireless. Like my keyboard's wireless, the mouse is wireless, so that way I can like lean back.
But when I'm standing with the trackball, you don't have to move the mouse around. You just move them around.
Oh, I've used one of those before. Yeah, I'm terrible at it.
I bet you'd be the best trackball person ever.
Thanks. Nice. Where's my...
Constantly outperformed the S&P 500 even when other firms were getting destroyed. How does your wife have a salary of $223K and a net worth of $120 million? But if you sign up for my masterclass now, I will teach you how to buy low and sell high by implementing my tried and tested formula of marrying Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. While other Trumps are looking...
I haven't seen this. I'll have to watch it though. One of the feds is on right now too. How to get rich. Marry Nancy Pelosi. Triple Q starting to get some gas here. Look, we saw some volume move up. So we're seeing that, right? Volume moves up, volume moves up. That's what, we'd want to continue to see volume moving up and price stay above it if we're going to get that continuation to the upside. These offers look heavy though. Like it looks like they're just being aggressive and buyers aren't really, quenching or really like, in a hurry to buy these. It seems like these sellers are really just trying to hold the market down to get out at the fairest price. And these buyers are like, well, if you want to sell it, I'm down here. So come on down. Like Bob Barker. Yeah, we're getting invaded again. What's the deal with all these bots that are coming in? I swear like someone just hates this channel and they just invade it with bots.
How did they get your link?
I have no idea. Coming up to that slow E period, we've got about 6 minutes or 5.5 minutes really until this E period starts, and the market's already getting a bit slow here. So let's see if we can get these sellers that we're trying to sell up here to go ahead and head to lunch, and these mechanical buyers will just continue to overlap value to the high here. And remember, just because we're breaking out, if we do continue to break out, let's say, you've got to remember we have to apply balance rules, right? So make this bigger here. And that's why I hate these numbers, because they really make the chart look ugly as shit. But we have balance. We'll just mark the top of balance. We're not really worried about the bottom because we're not at the bottom. If we get a breakout, I'd like to see us form volume up over this 50 level. start getting volume, and that would give us our sign for continuation. If we get this pop up and come back down into balance, right, that would be a look above and fail, right? And that's kind of what we had yesterday, right? We had this kind of, we had a 2-day balance. We looked, 2 ticks below it, look below and fail. We kind of retraced, and then later on in the day, they got that liquidation, pretty much retraced the whole thing, liquidated down. Globex wasn't able to get down. We didn't really get a retracement of overnight inventory. And, here we are kind of coming up towards the top at this point, but just, this isn't the best spot really to just be like, oh, let me just take a breakout long. Even though it could run, I'm not saying that it can't run, but there is resistance above. And then if we look over here at our daily chart and pull up the right, remember that ultimate target really to kind of confirm is to get volume above that 4175. And reason being, if we switch to our monthly chart here, right, we're still in this kind of balance area. So in order to really break out of a balance on a monthly level, we want to see volume form above this 4176.75 and get that continuation up into this prior monthly balance. Remember, we have this balance that we had from, was that February, March, April, May, June. Here's July. We kind of had this 2-month balance here. Overlapping balance typically tells us that sometimes the trend is getting a little bit stale and, possibly coming to an end. I'm not saying that, like I've been saying, for the past couple of weeks, I'm not saying that the bottom is in. I actually kind of think that we still have to trade down a little bit more before we can really confirm a rally, but we only trade the chart in front of us. And so we see kind of an equilibrium here that kind of lines up with the high. That's at 43.30. This level here is like 43.30-ish. And then you have another equilibrium up here, which would be like that 4,500 level. And there goes the market breaking out a little bit, looking to get that 43 level here now. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. I was like, what the fuck? A weak spot on the profile here is that 38 quarter. See where that volume acted as the nice support on that retest. AMD's getting just a smackarooski, so those puts should be doing okay for my uncle.
They are currently still underwater, but not very much. And I have 6 contracts, so I mean, if this thing even, I don't know, I would say if it hits 95, it'll be in green.
Nice.
So I should be okay. Well, not even 95, 95 and a half. Yeah, I'm pretty close. Oh no, yeah, no, 99, just barely under 96. Actually, it'll hit green.
Nice.
And counts look like they're headed in that direction, so we should be okay. Thanks.
I disconnected my NinjaTrader. I'm doing something for Peter Resnicek, so that was my computer if you heard that noise. Where's it? Sorry, guys.
The other day
Tremendous
I was
knowledge. You are the best.
the other day I was sitting there talking to somebody and I made that same sound that and I realized I don't know where we got it, but like it's kind of like your brother, your dad does it, my brother does it, you do it, I do it. I think all the brothers do it actually. Just random. Anyway, sorry.
It's like when the brain's just
I don't know. It's
thinking.
just like well, it's like you got to make the noise in order to keep your brain from getting bored, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think
I don't make that noise. You're full of shit.
Well, I know you have made that
I
noise.
consciously, yeah, because I talk to people all day long, I consciously stop and say nothing. It is I used to say I used to stutter, I'm dyslexic, I have all kinds of other issues. But that one there I don't do. Crazy as fuck, but that's how I don't do.
How do I find my screenshots? Rhea is tremendous knowledge. You are the best. I don't know if that's a compliment or if you're asking a question. But thank you either way. Where do I find my screenshots at?
Hey, how's Texas?
Effing hot.
All right. But it's Texas.
But it's nice.
Yeah. And where are you living?
I live in Frisco.
Yeah, nice. Rich people area.
Yeah, he's like not far away from the Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, it's pretty darn close to the Cowboy Stadium.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely got to make a trip out there this season or soon.
Well, just make sure you stop by and say hi.
Oh, I definitely will. I'll need a place to stay. Thank you.
we'll do our best to accommodate you on the back patio.
Whatever.
We
Okay.
do, it does have a pool and a hot tub and a waterfall and
I'm cleaning my pool right now. This piece of shit. My pump stopped. Nobody told me, and so it got green. So I had to empty out some algae out of it and restart it. Not that easy to keep clean when you have to do it yourself. Do you like water stays?
like as in swimming.
Yeah, I mean, I know pool's okay, but I mean, with like going in the ocean and getting in the ocean, or
I could take it or leave it.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of water.
I swam in the ocean a couple days ago. I didn't
I
get
don't
stung by
mind
jellyfish.
getting in the water at the beach, but I just don't want to get in the water. Oh my lord, do they step in shit? Crap.
All right, watch the volume here. You're starting to see volume come up in here on the high. The mechanical selling off that previous day high should take the market a little bit higher here if they're able to squeeze out these stops. You see that the breath is picking up to almost 4-1 on the NASDAQ. Starting to see the advanced decline really start to turn up here sharply. I cannot find my fucking screenshots. Annoying. There they go. Let's see if we can repair that poor high. And remember, this is like one of the most dangerous spots, right? Where we're looking to see if we're going to get continuation, a break of balance with continuation, or are we going to get that responsive seller moving in? Or are we going to run out of steam again like we did on Monday? See the weak spot on the profile, right where those shorts got squeezed out. Back to it. Now you look for buyers to step up on the impulse. If buyers step up, they are. Weak spot is 42.75. If they don't trade back down to that 42.75, there they go. Short covering. Looks like a lot of profit taking up here at the high, but sellers, oh, they just look like they're getting stuck. Sellers just aren't having any luck today. 42 quarter looks like they're stuck at. Bunch of offers kind of just piling in at the top, but we're still holding above that impulse here. Look at it, it went from like 180 to 1900 now. 2000. Back down below the impulse. see if we can just run these up. Look at all the volume that came in and backfilled that area. That's key. That means buyers are stepping up there. Triple Q's breaking out. Apple's almost up 3%. Amazon's up 3.5%. Google's even breaking out.
Why would it set that?
Tesla's lagging big time. Keep holding those puts. Nice. Let's see if we can get this 47 quarter here. All right, Patrick. We'll see you later, man. Have a good day. Down 18 points on the day. Oh well. Have a good trading day. What happened, Jason? Were you shorting most of the day? Could have been much worse, but I cut it. Yeah, you tried to fade that high. Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, at least you cut it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I said, it's a dangerous play up here because we could see a responsive seller. We just haven't seen him yet, but we could see a responsive seller that could move in to easily just kind of force this market back down. So. Didn't follow your trade plan at all. Yeah. Well, jump in the Discord, Jason, and like share your trade plan and let's talk about it as a community on where you went wrong and some of the maybe mental obstacles that you faced that made you not want to follow your trade plan, right? That's the best part about this community is that we're all here trying to help each other. So
That is not like none of us have lost money, just saying.
right, exactly.
Or made bad trades, to say the least.
Less volume, but we are climbing up. You think we'll take the highs and continue? Yeah, so the thing about
I gotta share a story real quick. So
well, hang on, let me answer this question. Let me answer this question real quick.
Okay.
The thing about less volume, Thomas, and I'll pull up if you're looking at it on the website, right? If we're looking at like Jim's website and showing the less volume, let me refresh it. So we're seeing that we're about 18% starting off, but 14% less. That's just, not necessarily saying that the upside move is weak. It's just showing us that there is no sellers in the market, right? Because we're not having a two-way auction. Like yesterday, we had a two-way auction with the up volume to about 20% more volume. And now we're trading up again and we're having less volume. It's just telling you that everybody in the market today is a buyer, right? So even the other volume that's coming in is mostly just short covering, right? We did see that seller get trapped down here at the 32, right? Earlier, we saw a seller get trapped at the 32, and this is probably, they got a little bit too short in the hole, right? You had that short selling at the 32, buyer was on the 28, and then when you get a little bit too short in the hole, this is kind of what happened. So it's not really necessarily saying that, we're going to keep getting this huge, move, but like basically I'm saying, like, you don't necessarily need more volume to come up, but what it's telling us is about this move up is that it's a little bit weaker than if we were to be moving up on big volume, right? Because a lot of this is what Jim Dalton refers to as old business, because pretty much everyone is buyers. We're having a bunch of local traders, right? Shorter time frame traders buying, and then we're having a bunch of other traders short covering as we're getting back up into a spot where they've been short for a while, right? Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, so I had you guys don't know, well, maybe you don't know, I had two PA accounts that I'd been taking $1,000 out of it consistently for the last 2 months. And I took out, but I wasn't made, I'd only made maybe overall the whole time I'd probably made about $3,500. And the last $2,000 I took $1,000 out of each account last month, and I thought my trail down was $1,200, and my trail down was only a little over $200, and I killed both PA accounts. So, because I was running them on a trade copier. So, if you do that, you should probably pay better attention to what your trailing loss is, as opposed to what I did, thinking that I still had an additional $1,000 to trail, but I did not. Just food for thought.
My plan was to go long after the retest of the prior day high when initially resistance turned into support. Yeah, of course, Jason. That's what we're here for, man. Yeah, Thomas, no problem. All right, guys, it is about that time, this E period lull. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the market overall. We do see that we were not able to take out that poor high, so giving us a sign of a weak high here, getting some excess. So we can imagine if F period were to start developing, right? If F period were to start developing, let's say F period opens up here, we do have about 9 minutes. It's going to be, a fairly similar look to what we saw in yesterday's session. It was a little bit later, but we had this move up, left that mechanical high, and now that we've fixed all of the mechanical levels from yesterday, we haven't fixed the one from Monday, but that H was our last mechanical level up above that 40, where all these local sellers or these weak-handed sellers were finally had to cover on the short side, but no additional buying above this high, and we're back below that impulse on that E period. So no initiated buying above these highs yet, and balance just continues. And so as of right now, especially as we're trading down, there's decent odds that we get a pushback down, where was that buyer at? That buyer was down at 28, so back down to there. If that buyer doesn't rebuy down at this 28, you'll be looking probably for that 20 area. And then balance rules, right? If we get up to the top of balance and don't find any volume, typically what happens is they'll look to trade. Let's reset this real quick. They'll look to trade back to that point of control, and that would be that 4120, right? As we've kind of showed here, here. And let's even, even if we include the overnight sessions into this little move, you've got this 4120 big area there. The next level down would be 4100, but we still have 4080 would be the low of balance. So if you don't get a strong reaction off the 4120, may trade back down to this 4100, 4105. Really, that 4195 to 4104 is kind of the area that I'm looking to see if there's some support down there. And then if not, it'll test that low of balance. That's balance rules, right? Not necessarily saying that it's going to, but that's what balance rules kind of tell us.
I'll be praying for that one down to that, 4100.
I mean, if there's a liquidation break, I could see, I think that this 4050 area looks like a spot where, we may want to test and repair the structure. We've got this previous high here, come back down into here, scoop up all this liquidity really, and then maybe take the high, just because we haven't found any buyers. So we maybe have to gather some more sellers, right? As we trade down, all these people that were not selling, eventually just turn to sellers down at the lows. Longer term time frame buyer just scoops them up, and then that gives the momentum to continue the high. Not saying that that's for sure what's going to happen, just something that I'm kind of paying attention to and kind of looking out for here. No pop. Apex does not make you keep the max in your account for the drawdown. You could take out every dollar in your account after a certain amount of time. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, don't trade. If you don't know how to make a trade plan, jump in the Discord and be like, hey, I want to make a trade plan, and someone will help you out for sure. A lot of us post our trade plans every single day, so I recommend as time goes on, you guys start doing the same. It's only going to help you. If you're not documenting your trades, right, that's something that you definitely need to start doing. One of our members, TJ, posted a video. If you look up the Swanson family on YouTube, he's got the links there for how he tracks his trades. It's a really good document. I really like it. And I really like the idea of having that binder right there. It makes you take your time out to in between trades, right? I know a lot of times we get out of a trade and we're like, fuck, I should have got back in, or you're wanting to get really back in. So Jason, I'm in the Discord. I mean, I have the Discord like on my phone, so I have my phone like all the time. Nice, good work, Dad. I just saw your text. Tom Lee, how can you join the Discord? Let me send the invite here. There it is. Could you post the link to that video? Yes, I can. Let me see. History. The market's breaking out. See if we can get some short covering up here. Still a week high here. Here's that link, Roach. And then I'll post a link in the YouTube chat as well for TJ's video. It said Discord link is invalid from the YouTube description. Yeah, that's on purpose, Tom Lee, because I just don't want to get a bunch of like, you know, random people joining the Discord that are just looking for signals. We run a nice community here. That everyone is kind of building each other up, and I know Discord gets a little trolly, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. And as we grow, I kind of expect it to get a little bit that way, but you know, we don't want, if I can control it, I will, and that's one way that I am able to limit it. So you know, I continue that route. The only thing I ask when you join the Discord is that you just be positive and respectful. You know, no hate. We're all at different stages in our journey of trading, and that's something that we should all respect from each other. We should all be here to help build each other up. There's no reason to be trying to break down another person who's trying to learn and may just be a little bit behind you in this, you know, marathon that we call trading. So if you do join the Discord, more than welcome, right? And that's all we ask, is just be positive and respectful. I encourage everybody to share as much as possible. That's how you grow. So if you're not sharing, you know, even if you just want to recap, like, hey, I took this trade today, what do you think? You know, I love stuff like that, and we can recap it on stream, or I can just recap it, you know, in the Discord, you know, either or, just you know, let me know. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'm sure the kids are itching to get in the pool, so I'll like head down to the pool. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you all later.
Thanks a lot.